Technology. I warn you, technology, and you're gonna be helping me. So here we go. So take a deep breath before we start, because this was a challenge, and that's what we do when we when we are encountered with challenge, we find a solution. That's what it is. So hola Lene, hola mi lady, hola Joanne, hello Joanne, hello Melissa, hello everyone. And I cannot see you, but I was told that you can see me. So I'm going to ask you to please close your eyes and take a deep breath. I will greet this day with love in my heart. I give myself permission to receive new levels of love and abundance in all areas of life. I grant permission to my guardian angels to bring me surprises and miracles, to remind me that I am worth it, of great love and abundance. And so it is done. So thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me company. And I am going to share my screen. And because you can see me, I cannot see you, but you can see me. And I'm going to start recording. This being recorded. Okay, it's already recording. Here we go. You see the things with technology. Entire screen. Here we are. Hello, Carolina. Thank you. So, Returning to Inner Peace and Self-Love presents Insight to Transformation Masterclass. Let me show you the view. Okay, so disclaimer, as everything and anything in this world, we have to go to the boring stuff. So the information provided today is for educational purposes only. This may or may not be for you. I only ask you to be open-minded. Don't believe everything that I said. Don't dismiss everything that I share with you. Put it to practice. I only ask you that you put it to practice. And if this information is not for you, maybe someone else that you know can benefit from it. And I can only cover so much in 1 hour. My whole life cannot be compressed in one single hour. I wish I could, but that's why we have follow-up. And there's no way that there's not a single professional or coach or therapist or medication that have the answer to all of our problems. Everything else is a tool. The answer is within you. So let's begin. And I'm nervous now because of the technology. So our agenda. Welcome and meet Insights to Transformation. My story. I'm going to share my story along with stories of some of my clients that I ask if I can share their story today. Inner peace and self-love, how the spirit guides me, debilitating pain and suffering, and cause and effect. So who is Iris? So my journey began in the healthcare system in 1989. Yes, people, I am old. I've been here for a very, very, very long time. I worked at the Caprini Hospital in New York. I worked and I didn't. It was part of my high school, Mabel DeBacon Vocational High School. We have to go to the hospital every day for 2 hours to train in the medical assistant. This is how I started my healthcare journey. I worked in hospital, like in Health Central Hospital for 14 years. My internship, I completed my internship, my clinical internship in Central Florida Behavioral Hospital. and Chrysalis Health Inc., where I met my lady. And through the years, um, I met thousands of people. I worked with thousands of people, hundreds of people, thousands. And I have always been fascinated by the behavior, what trigger people, what trigger us to function the way that we function. And from my own experiences and those of my clients, I came to one conclusion, a one common thread: losing a sense of self. And I said losing a sense of self because we cannot really lose who we are, but we can believe that we do. I hope you're doing okay. I cannot see you. If you can send me like a little, I don't know, something that let me know that you are here with me. So if you can write the word insights. Thank you. Thank you, Tibo. Thank you, people. If you can write the word insights, if you have something to write with. Insights stand for the I, introspection and self-reflection. The N is nurturing and self-compassion. The S, setting boundaries and prioritizing self. The I, inner growth and empowerment. The G, gratitude and forgiveness. The H, healing practice and rituals. And the T and the S, transformation and self-discovery. So before inside, you might be someone that found yourself repeating same relationship patterns, or feeling lost, in constant stress, feeling anxious, depressed, confused, self-doubt, following the scripts. I followed the script for a long time and just surviving. I'm going to tell you a story. Losing myself in a relationship was not, I didn't start feeling lost and confused in a relationship. I remember the day. Come on, Iris, get it together. I remember when I was a little girl. I was raised with my grandmother and my aunt, and Caribbean people, we have a community. You are not raised by just one person. But I remember the day I was playing in the background. In our playground. Our playground was just the space between my grandmother and my aunt. And I'm with my cousin and my cousins, the whole pack of cousins and friends. And I remember the day that I suddenly stopped and I looked up. And I asked myself, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. And this doesn't make sense. The world didn't make sense. The family that I was in didn't make sense, at least at the time. And every day, from that time, I will ask myself, I will ask God to please wake me up, because I knew that I was asleep. Because there's no way. I knew I didn't belong there. That was not my place. Anyway, as you know, children, they forget. and you learn to follow the script, and you learn to go on with your life, and you even create a sense of happy, well, I perceive happy. Thank you for the hugs. Thank you for letting me know that you're here. So, insights, introspection, self reflection, engaging in deep self examination to understand your thoughts, feelings, and behavior, nurturing self compassion, cultivating a kind and gentle attitude toward yourself, especially during challenging times, the setting boundaries and prioritizing self, establishing limits to protect your well being, and ensuring that your needs and priority come first. Learning to say no, people, learning to say no. Inner growth and empowerment, fostering personal development and enhancing your inner strength and confidence. Gratitude and forgiveness, embracing a mindset of thankfulness and releasing feelings of resentment and anger. Healing practice and rituals, incorporating activity and routine that promote emotional and physical healing. And the last two, which are the most important one, but they do not stand alone without the other, is transformation and self-discovery. In transformation, you go significant personal changes. You uncover who you are. You kind of like break yourself into pieces to put yourself together. And self-discovery, gaining deeper insight into your true self, getting to know you for who you are. So after insight, my hope is that you find a deep, loving relationship with yourself. I get emotional because I think of my journey. So I'm not sad. This is my mind because I go through this and I and I'm following my path from when I was a kid. So thank you. Come on, let's do this. Woo! We can do this. So, so what do we need to transform, or what must we transform? Our relationship with oneself. Because until we heal this one, all your relationships are extension of your relationship with yourself. And you cannot fool you. You cannot fool that part of you that it needs your attention. You cannot fool that part of you that needs to heal, that needs to know that you are more than okay today. Why? Why do we need this? Why do we need to transform ourselves? I truly thought that I was happy. I, I, I sincerely, throughout my years, after that moment when I realized that I didn't belong, and I learned to follow the script, I was going through life smiling, laughing, doing things, participating in things. But I knew there was something missing. That loneliness, that feeling lost was always with me. It was almost like a best friend that I couldn't, that I didn't know who she was, or why I was always, no matter what, how happy I thought I was, or what I did, it was always there, and it will come up in the least moment expected. that part of you that lead you to accept to be treated less than you deserve. That part of you that you find yourself self saying yes when you want to say no. That you see someone um, looking at you or talking to you in a way that makes you feel unsafe, and you still there and you stay there, and you don't do it because you want to. Let me clarify this. This is not you. You don't accept less than you deserve because you want to. This is this is coming deeper than what you realize. That's why I didn't know. I didn't realize what I was doing to myself. So this is not you doing, this is not you blaming, but it's us becoming aware of it so we can grow and we can heal. And I hate it that I cannot see your face. I hate it. um, so do you find yourself like feeling lost sometime, or in a relationship that you are confused, that that you don't feel emotionally safe to express yourself, to be you, to have the friends in your life? I have this client that she has been married for 50 years. And that goes also with my aunt. My aunt also did the same thing. She has been married for 50 years. In this relationship, she had endured domestic violence to the point of court and restraining order. But she found herself back there into this relationship. She had endured financial abuse to the point that financial abuse after being asked to give up her nursing career to stay at in-home mom. Um, Name it, all the abuse that you can think of, she had endured. But yet she's still in the relationship, hoping at 78 years old of age that things will still change. That one day this man will look at her and said, I'm sorry. Or be the man that she wish he's possible, he is capable of being according to her wish. At 78, she needs help of a caretaker, and he won't allow it. At 78, she's not allowed to have friends. So I'm giving you this example as this can happen to anyone. Because as long as we keep ourselves unaware of the patterns, we won't be able to do something. And this is why we are here today, to transform. So, why do we do this? In the psychology world, we call it ACE, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And I'm going to play a video right now that explains it better. And I hope this works. So please let me know if it works. I'm going to stop the sharing so I can show you the video. Okay, so I'm going to take this down. No, you don't have to take that down. I will now share the video, and you're going to go Chrome, and you're going to play this. Okay. Say now. Okay. Come on. I tested this, so it should work, right? Let me see. Wait a minute. Have it within the View tab. Okay, here we go.
But trauma rewires them for protection. Our brains are wired for connection, but trauma rewires them for protection. That's why healthy relationships are difficult for wounded people. Do these words speak to you? Trauma can come from many difficult sources, and sometimes this includes those closest to you, your family. Negative experiences you had growing up, or even heavy responsibilities and expectations placed on you throughout your childhood can often be too difficult to forget. Psychologists call these adverse childhood experiences, potentially traumatic events that can happen from a child's birth until they reach adulthood. According to Centers for Disease and Prevention, these events are linked to chronic health problems, mental illnesses, and substance use problems in adolescence and adulthood. So even as you grow up and replace the family you were born into with the family you choose for yourself, it's still hard to let go of the trauma. It seems as if the ghosts of your past come alive and try to make it all about them once again. And even if you know in your heart that your partner is not the parent who hurt you, it may not help. What kinds of trauma can one experience through their lives, and how do these traumas impact their romantic relationships? Let's explore 4 types of trauma and their effects on your romantic life. Rejection trauma. Let's start with the trauma of being rejected. Rejection trauma is born in a home where we're made to feel like we don't matter. Try to think back into your childhood. Were you always pushed away? Do you feel like you're not worthy of your parents' time? If instead of love and warmth you felt rejected, you may have carried that feeling with you. And today, you might find yourself fearing rejection all over again. Only this time you may feel rejected by your romantic partner. A 2015 research paper published in Dialogues in Clinical Neuroscience examined emotions that occur when people perceive rejection in their relationships. According to researchers, rejection trauma could make you feel hurt, jealous, lonely, ashamed, guilty, socially anxious, and embarrassed. All of these emotions can later negatively impact your relationship and your self-esteem within that relationship. For example, psychotherapist Amy Morin said for Very Well Mind that people who went through rejection trauma may interpret rejection as proof that they are unacceptable in some way. If your partner is too busy to spend time with you or doesn't reply to your message right away, you may say to yourself, "Yep, I knew it, they don't care about me." Do you sometimes think like this in similar situations? The reality might be, and often is, completely different, but you still may perceive it as rejection and take it personally. Maybe you believe that you only matter if you're accepted by others, or you might struggle with constant fears and worries, expecting rejection to inevitably happen. Abandonment trauma. Hand in hand with rejection often comes abandonment. As children, we depend on our parents to feel safe and be safe. But in some cases, our parents make the world feel unstable and dangerous. Have you experienced some kind of neglect or abuse that made you feel unsafe at home? Maybe it was a lack of supervision, physical and narcissistic abuse, or staying hungry all the time because you weren't given anything to eat. When a child goes through these experiences, they can't really understand why these things are happening. And often they can explain this only by believing that they don't actually deserve any attention or care. They start to believe that the world is not worthy of their trust, while they aren't worthy of the world. They feel abandoned. Abandonment trauma often leads to formation of an anxious attachment style. A 2017 study published in Current Opinion in Psychology found that individuals with an anxious attachment style may be hypervigilant and worry about their worthiness in a relationship and their partner's desire to be with them. And in some cases, severe trauma can even cause the development of personality disorders such as borderline personality disorder. Psychiatrist Mark Zimmerman wrote for MSD Manual that fear of abandonment is a common symptom of borderline personality disorder. Even if you don't suffer from BPD, you could still feel the same mix of emotions when you feel abandoned by your partner. Anger, anxiousness, and fear. You might react intensely, acting jealous and possessive, or crying your heart out, because all you know is that you can't stand the thought of being alone again. Betrayal trauma. Maybe the worst thing about these childhood wounds is the fact that they were brought to us by the people we trusted. People who were supposed to love us more than the world, people who were supposed to be our superheroes. Suffering trauma by someone you are close to and depend on for support and survival is defined as betrayal trauma. Have you been deeply betrayed by someone you loved and depended on? This could mean discovering that one of your parents or your partner cheated, family members justifying abusive behavior, or maybe one or both of your parents engaging in drinking or gambling instead of providing for you. If things like these happen to a child, they might have trouble accepting it or believing it, so they often just suppress it. One study from 2009 published in the American Journal of Psychology suggests that those who suffer from betrayal trauma often dissociate traumatic experiences from conscious awareness in order to preserve the relationship. It's because they're too dependent on their abuser to believe otherwise. And once they grow up, they might continue the same patterns. They might become dependent, feel inadequate to be on their own, and decide to stay in toxic relationships. They might be too afraid to leave, too afraid to be betrayed again, so they just put on a happy mask and suffer in silence. Humiliation trauma. Lastly, your childhood may have left you with a wound of toxic shame, humiliation trauma. Was there a time when your parents made you feel deeply ashamed of yourself? They might have laughed at you for changing body during puberty or mocked you for not getting the highest grade in school. In order to survive feeling ashamed and humiliated, you might have developed some coping mechanisms that you still use to this day. Dr. Linda Hartling said for modernintimacy.com that there are 3 strategies that you might use as a way of dealing with toxic shame from your childhood: moving away, moving toward, or moving against shame. Moving away from shame means isolating, keeping secrets, or withdrawing from your partner. Moving toward shame could show up as codependency or people-pleasing behavior, becoming what you think your partner wants you to be, even if it means losing your sense of self. And when you move against shame, you might try to fight those who shame you. Maybe you use passive aggression or insults to shame your partner before they get the chance to shame you. These strategies might help you cope, but they might be detrimental to your relationships in the long run. Do you feel like some of these trauma types describe you and your relationship patterns? Have you recognized some other childhood wounds that get in the way of a fulfilling love life? Unfortunately, sometimes we may unconsciously seek partners who imitate those who hurt us. Later on, this can lead to trauma bonds within a relationship. Are you stuck in a trauma bond? Take a look at this video and find out if it's a trauma bond.
So the question was, are you stuck in a trauma bond? Can you think of things that might be hindering your freedom, your sense of self? So why do we do this? Because we have this part of us that call the subconscious mind, that its job is to protect us. Its primary job, its only job is to keep us alive. So to ensure our humanness, so we can grow up and have children. But it does it from a place of love. It's not because it wants to hurt us. It doesn't know that we are an adult. And I love this from Mandino, Oji Mandino, my other mind. He calls the subconscious mind my other mind, that mysterious source, which never sleeps, which creates my dreams and often makes me act in ways that I do not comprehend. That mysterious source, which never sleeps, which create my dreams and often makes me act in ways that I do not comprehend. And it reminds me that as a little girl, I couldn't sleep unless I was with someone next to me. I could not. My whole night was an adventure of nightmare, the mysterious source. So I'm going to invite you to take 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and write down things that that you can think that might be hindering your sense of self. If you can write it down for at least 2 or 3 minutes. I hate it that I cannot see you. I really do. Music. Let me give you music so you can listen to music. Um, am I presenting? Let me give you music. All right, our time is up. Let's go. This is really good. I'm so happy that you are all here. So let's go to the PowerPoint. Where are you, PowerPoint? Why aren't you in view of me? Okay. Okay, so what are signs of a healthy relationship? Healthy relationship is peaceful. It's an extension of who you are. If you are peace within yourself, your relationship will also be peaceful because you will not accept what you don't deserve. A relationship is trusty, it's trustworthy, it's loving, it's clear, is no there's no fog, there's no confusion. You know, you know when you are loved because you love yourself and you know. So there is a dog barking. You know, it's a live televised um, uh, national. It's a national live. So life happens, and this is what happens when we are live. So a healthy relationship is kindness. Is that wife? If that wife um, feeling supportive is me not feeling lost or confused. So how do we end suffering? So the first thing is to recognize it and to embrace your pain. We cannot run away from who we are. You cannot run away from you, no matter where you go. It will take you with you. When I suddenly saw myself in that playground and I felt that I didn't belong, asking myself why I was here. And no, not so much what I was doing in here in the place, but here in the world. Why I was here. And not having an answer or someone to help me understand, which I didn't share this with anyone. But it didn't change that I carry this feeling through all my life. And until I listen to this feeling and stop and ask myself where this feeling came from, I was going to carry it with me all along. And I did. So the first thing and the most important part after you recognize it is accepting 100% responsibility. 100% responsibility doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It only means that you're taking the responsibility of your emotions or how you view your world, that you are going to do whatever it takes to understand why you feel the way that you feel and for what. Because every emotion is a guidance. I call it that your personal GPS, your personal connection directly with God, with your Holy Spirit, with life. It's the part of you that that never sleeps and always create your dreams and makes you act in a way that you don't comprehend. We have to get in touch with that part so we can heal it, so we can let it know that it's okay, that we no longer need that protection, that we can now make decisions, that the people in our life that hurt us intentionally or unintentionally can no longer do it today. Because now we know, now we can do something about it and defend ourselves. Defending ourselves doesn't mean fighting or arguing. It means remove ourselves from a situation that is not what you deserve. It means that when you see a relationship treating you the way you don't, it doesn't go with you, that you don't stay. It means knowing what to do. It means knowing what to do. So what is the consequences of avoiding your pain? The consequences are suffering, going through life, following a script, and just surviving. And we are not here to survive. The mind's job is to keep us alive, but our job is to keep us happy, to live a life of freedom. Happy doesn't mean you don't feel sad. Happy doesn't mean that you don't feel angry sometimes. Happy means that you know why you feel angry, you know why you feel sad, and that is a tool for you to do something about the situation, not to run away from it by numbing yourself, which is what happened to me. I numbed myself of my life from feeling. At least I try. At least I try. Emotional turmoil, feeling anger, feeling angry, lonely, um, anxious, depressed, always stressed because your mind is always looking for something wrong that's going to happen. Because that's what the mind does when we don't have control of ourselves, when we try to avoid our pain. Remember, put it this way: if you're cooking at your home, right? If you're cooking in front of your stove and you're cooking and you accidentally put your hand on the stove, if you don't feel that pain, it's going to burn you, right? So that pain is the most amazing gift that your mind sends you to let you know, remove your hand, right? So the same thing happens when something that goes against who you are as a human, someone validate your right, someone mistreat you, someone make you feel like you don't matter. That pain that you feel It's your source to let you know this is not right. It's not to believe that that is right, but to give you the awareness, no, I don't deserve to be treated that way, and do something about it. Repetition, repeating the same vicious circle over and over again, and you don't know why. Because I truly did not know why I kept repeating the same pattern. This client came to me, and the first thing she said was, all I do is suffer. I've been in this relationship for 20 years, and all I do is suffer. And it's like it's my habit. Those exactly the words she said. It's like my habit. I don't know what to do without suffering, apparently, because I don't know how to live. I don't know how to be without him. And when he's not around, I cannot breathe. I get this overwhelming anxiety, and I don't know what to do. And she's still struggling with understanding the core of where this coming from. Okay, I went too fast. Inescapable self, meaning you cannot run away from who you are. It is impossible. It doesn't matter how far or how fast you want to run. It is impossible to run away from you. And I love this quote. Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve that God's will is good, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Do not conform to this world. Do not conform to the anxiety, to the depression, to the anger, to someone treating you less than. Do not conform. You are not here to survive. You are here to transform. So how did I form insights? So insights is an accumulation of my journey and all the tools that I daily practice. And I have tried many tools. But this one here, the one that I'm sharing with you, is that I do daily. Daily. I purposely get up at 5 o'clock in the morning so I can have the time to do this. My first tool was through books and also TV. But books, Oprah Winfrey introduced me to one of the most amazing books that would change my life. The first one was Returning to Love. I think I named my program Returning to Inner Peace of Love because of the impact that that book gave me, brought into my life. Returning to Love, I thought it was about relationship with another until I read that it was returning to God's love, returning to you, returning to yourself. And I believe that was one of the most impactful of the many journeys that I have encountered throughout my life. I read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I read the Bible. I read Mother Teresa book. I read Deepak Chopra books, Abraham Hicks. I cannot name you the list of people, books that I read, and every book helped me transform a little bit more every day as I read them. This one, the one that I talk about every day, the greatest salesman in the world, Jim Mandino, that I've been talking about daily. This book is an amazing book. Only costs $6 on Amazon. Get this book. It will only transform your life. So mirror work, journaling, meditation, exercise, self-love practice, meaning taking care of myself. So mirror work, I want to stop here. How mirror work transformed me in a way that you can only know by living through it. You can only know by practicing it. Again, don't believe anything that I said. I'll only ask you to put it to practice. So as growing up, as I said, I find myself lost and confused, and I didn't belong to this world. And as the script, and I thought I was happy, but every time someone will ask me, like during my teenage year, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my earliest 40, you ask me anything about my childhood, I will tell you that my mind will go blank, and and my answer will always be the same. I didn't like my childhood, but I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you. All I knew, it was a sadness that will just like awaken, the same sadness, sometime more than other. Like right now, this year, there's no sadness. It was nostalgia, but not sadness, not that sadness, that deep sadness that followed me all my life. I haven't felt that the moment I got in touch with it, the last time that I actually looked at it and allowed her to be. I'm calling her because, females, I said we are the bestest of the bestest. So mirror work. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. The fact of looking myself, it provoked me repulse, like couldn't see me. I thought I was the I don't want to say the word, but I'm going to share what this client answered when I said, do you look at yourself in the mirror this week? For weeks and weeks, I've been working with this client. This client she cannot function. I cannot tell you the story, but it's huge. But she could not look at herself in the mirror. And I said, until you look at yourself in the mirror and actually find yourself, forgiving yourself, and finding a sense of respect for who you are, you won't be able to overcome this. You'll have to do this for yourself. So I ask her every week, I will ask her, do you look at yourself in the mirror, along other things? And I can't. And I said, what happened when you look at yourself in the mirror? And the answer was, it disgusts me. It repulses me. And that reminds me of my own journey, how I used to feel that way. Give thanks every day. Give thanks. Be grateful for the day, because every day is a gift. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for believing that you deserve to be treated that way. Because only when we believe that we deserve to be treated in such a way, we allow it. And we don't do this consciously. That's why we have to forgive ourselves and forgive those that hurt us. Because until we forgive, that part of us that thinks that something is wrong won't let us be. We cannot move forward without it. Silence. In silence, I found the meaning of unconditional love and what Jesus meant. The power of Jesus' love, what he meant to love yourself as you love, to love God with all your meaning, all your heart, and then love your neighbor as you love yourself, as you love God. In silence, I realized what he meant. In positive affirmation with action, you cannot just say positive affirmation and not take an action. It doesn't work that way. Saying I love me, or whatever it is that we said, or I am enough, and yet your behavior doesn't align with that word, you're just lying to yourself. The mind won't believe you. And we need to retrain. We need to transform our mind from feeling sad and stuck and unable to move forward to relax and to realize that now you are in charge, that we are in charge. So unconditional love. is God's love. Don't expect others to give you what you don't give to yourself. Don't expect others to give you what you don't give to yourself. Happiness is not something anyone can give you. All your relationships are here to show you something about yourself, to show you something about yourself, not to make you happy. Happy is your decision. The problem is that when our relationship show us that something, we don't realize it and we stay. And we don't know how to move forward. And again, in 1 hour, I cannot go over everything. So we are running out of time. So promise to honor yourself. Seek help. Don't do this alone. We are all here to help you. We are all here. I didn't do this by myself. I submerge myself into books. I submerge myself into meditation and practicing. I ask for help. Do not do this by yourself. Create a new habit. Like Oji Mandino, I will create a new habit and become its slave. The vast majority of things that we do is out of habit already. Before was because the mind wanted to protect us and it still wanted to protect us. But now it's habit. We act on it. We need to create new habits to reprogram our mind so it can focus on the things that we want. And stay consistent. To create a new habit is not going to happen unless you stay consistent. And schedule it. Schedule someone that can help you. Don't just wish it. Make the first step. First, recognize it. Then take 100% responsibility of yourself. Do not give yourself to someone else to decide for you. Then reach out. Even Jesus asked for help. He had 12 disciples. Even Jesus asked for help. Without a disciple, we would have not known Jesus. So we all need help. And I'm going to skip this 2 minutes. I want to leave that for you to do later. So how did I lose myself in a relationship? I didn't. I was already lost, or at least I thought I was lost. This relationship came to me to show me what I was doing to myself, to show me how low and how far I went. This relationship actually turned out to be the path that God found to help me see what I couldn't see. If you ask me, when I was growing up, if my childhood was happy, I will tell you no, and a sense of sadness will come up. If you ask me now if I am happy, I will tell you. And if my childhood was happy, I will tell you that I had the most amazing childhood ever. With the bad and the ugly. I had cousins that would play all day long. I climbed trees. I was always running. I had my aunt and uncle that loved me, and the greatest grandmother that you can ever imagine. When I think of my grandmother, I don't know which one between my grandmother, Father Leo, and Jesus was better. Because they were all amazing humans, and God gave them all to me. So I can tell you that I am extremely happy. And it doesn't mean that I don't get angry or that I don't get sad or that I don't, and this is not sadness. This is all, again, seeing the journey. It means that now I can see me, I can hear me, I can value me, I can respect me. And I love this quote. The seed, you are the seed, and thank you for the hearts, thank you for the hands. You are the seed and the flower. You are the beginning and the end. Everything that you experience, everything that you live through, you have the power to decide and to transform you. Like Tony Robbins says, repetition is the mother of mastery. And we repeat it, feeling lost and confused for far too long. Like that client, I have been suffering for 20 years and I don't know how to get out because it's a repetition of suffering every day. Because when it happened, we were not able to do something. But now we are. Now we are. So insights, transfer, introspection and self-reflection, nurturing self-compassion, setting boundaries and prioritizing self, inner growth empowerment, gratitude and forgiveness, healing practice and ritual, transformation and self-discovery. And that's what you get. I want you to, when you feel, you remember, you hear the word insights, it's not just insights, but think about the word as insights. And if you find yourself feeling lost and confused, I have the tools. I have the tools to transform this and do this for me. And why are we truly here? To transform suffering into peace and self-love through insights. And because of this, I created a 12-week program that I am setting to start on August 1st, where we are going to continue working if you give yourself an opportunity. And the link, oh my God, you're going to receive the link to schedule an appointment with this. If you schedule an appointment, it's a free call. You are not obligated to anything. This is so we can go and get to know each other deeper and to see if you are, if this is something that you would like to do. I beg of you, if anything, any of this information touch you or make sense to you, or you think someone can benefit from it, please don't just dismiss it and ask for help. If it's not with me, ask help with someone else. It doesn't matter as long as you reach out to help with someone else. If it's not with me, reach out to me, lady, or to Maggie, or to you have thousands of humans ready to help you. Don't do this alone. So if you schedule an appointment with me, it's a free consultation. And there's a lot of bonuses. You have my 3 framework. I'm not going to go over it because we're also running out of time. We're only 11:58. My 3 framework, it will be bonuses. Calm down, Iris. See, I don't want to run out of time because you got to go, right? I promise 1 hour. You get the 2 weeks program. You get 1 hour a day framework. You get happy. You get 12 weeks of my group coaching, individual therapy, and all kinds of things. So I hope to see you soon. And I hate it that I cannot see you. So thank you so much. This was supposed to Q&A, question and suggestion. Please send me your question, inbox me or something, and I will answer them. I'm going to fix this. If I'm going to do this again, because I need to fix this and I owe you this. And I hope you can allow me to rethink myself. And thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I love you all. Remember, you are not here to survive. You are here to strive. You are here to live the life that you are meant to be, the life that you deserve. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to close the meeting because I cannot even receive your chat. So thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you. I love you.